This is Smithy.tv.
Oh, hey, Ryan.
Oh, hey, Lindsay. How are you?
Nice
to see you.
Nice.
Or in front here.
Nice sweater.
Nice sweater. I feel a theme coming on.
It does feel themish.
It feels themish, like
Themish? Is that how you say it?
Themish.
Themish. Like theme-ish. That's what
I just misspoke. I think the words just didn't come out as English.
I fumble my words often, so I'm not one.
I have nothing to blame it on, other than that I was speaking very lazily.
By the red here?
Yeah, well, it's pretty bright. I mean, I went green, you went red. I think that's pretty much the standard holiday colors for this year. Well, minus the fact that currently, right now, technically, we would be wearing white and blue.
Is this
It's a Hanukkah reference.
Yeah, okay, sorry. Jewish.
We're in December, and we're now in that time of year, the holiday season. Happy holidays.
We afforded two extra words this time.
And I feel that it's necessary to talk about what's going on in the world. In the world. Well, okay, so tonight would be we're not going to date ourselves, but we're in the middle of the days of Hanukkah.
He was about to, so you might as well just go for it.
Day 6, we've had...
Is it actually day 6 of Hanukkah?
Tonight we would light 6... Oh, wait a second. Yeah. Tonight we would light 6 candles. I forget because we've been skipping nights when my son is not allowed a present due to his if he gets punished.
Sorry.
He's not.
Hanukkah is now 5 nights.
It's just the nights that you're not getting a present.
Yeah.
And it's only for misbehavior. It's not because he doesn't have one. We have them on standby, ready to give him.
So what do you do with those gifts that he didn't deserve, or he was acting?
Well, when he finally starts to behave, we give him 2 in a night.
And say, oh, tonight was just a special night.
Yeah, basically.
Or does he? Okay.
But then we save like a big one. Like we give him like little tiny presents, like one little present every day.
Like a
cheap toy or whatever. Just
elastic.
Something less. Yeah. Here's an elastic band. Here's a marker.
But again, you know that thing.
Although markers can get expensive.
A penny and he can turn into whatever. Like a man would buy elastic, and then he could do that.
Absolutely, he could. But he's 4, so I don't think he's ready for the Craigslist exchange party just yet.
So a year or 2 from now.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe they'll teach him that in school.
Yeah, no, I didn't know a lot about that. I feel like I'll be educated today.
Well, I mean, Hanukkah is a very interesting story. It's a few thousand years old, and it's about a miracle of lights, as they would put it. There's a historical reference of
Festival of Lights.
Festival of Lights. What had happened is they had enough oil for 1 night, and the candle lasted 8 nights. It was a miracle.
I've never actually heard that. I know
it also coincides with some battles going on, and there's a Judah Maccabee in his story. I'm not going to go into that because honestly, I don't remember it well enough to.
It should be like you'd have people actually, if they're watching, call it and complain.
You can call in and complain. Why don't you email us the story of Hanukkah the way you know?
No, I don't even know.
Why don't you tweet to this and?
We got them again.
Yeah.
And happy holidays. For Hanukkah, I've seen many different spellings. Recently, I saw it said Hanukkah.
Yeah, so
like
it's CH. So what happens is when there's just an H, it's for those who are not willing to try the ch sound of Middle Eastern languages, like many Arabic and Jewish speaking languages have chs in them, very guttural sounding words. So Chanukah. How else are you supposed to spell it except for maybe a CH?
Yeah.
But obviously you put ch, which it's at the end of a word. But if it's at the beginning of a word, like channel, sure. But Chanukah, wow. There's no ch in the English language.
Yeah, we're learning today.
We're learning today. I'm going to stop now.
Yeah. If you know anything about Hanukkah, CH or H, let us know.
But that's the reason behind the different spellings. And then people either put H's at the end of it, 2 N's. They're all correct because they're all interpretations of what the Hebrew letters would actually say. The Hebrew spelling of Hanukkah never changes. Mm-hmm. So it's just interpretation.
Do you guys do like a big Hanukkah party? Like
we do the big family parties.
Is it like near the end, at the beginning? Which more appropriate? Or?
It all depends on when everyone's available. So sometimes our Hanukkah party's a week after Hanukkah.
Yeah, they're like Happy Hanukkah. You're like it's pretty much.
It's already Christmas.
Yeah.
Although technically sometimes it falls on Christmas. Depends on the Jewish calendar.
Could be New Year's.
It never goes that late, but it does sometimes go as early as
I just
November.
like the idea that you guys are like, it's March, and you're like, we didn't do Hanukkah. Maybe we should.
No, because March is like, the possibility of Passover.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, no, so like, is there usually supposed to celebrate the top, the front, the end of it, or does it really matter?
There's no really matter. I mean, like, there's the first night is the more religious night of the whole holiday.
Yeah.
You celebrate all 8, but I mean, like, for instance, when you're saying the prayers over the candles, there's one prayer in particular you only use in the first 2 nights of the lighting ceremony.
Yeah.
And then you never use it for the rest of the holiday. So there's a more religious side of it at the beginning.
Yeah.
But for a family party perspective, it doesn't matter. It's as long as it falls within the week, or you try your best to make it land in there. And of course, there's things that are very, very traditional with Hanukkah, which includes fried donuts called suganiyot.
Anytime, that's great, actually.
I think that anytime it's great. And my wife is like, I don't think I'm going to get a hold of these people. They're not calling me back. I can't get through to this restaurant. I'm like, they make donuts year round.
Yeah.
It's like
it's not like
they're going to go out of style.
Those 8 nights
kosher. They just need to be kosher for this week. So no Timmy's. But
I feel like your wife doesn't watch this podcast, or you might be in trouble.
My wife doesn't watch this podcast.
If you did, you'd be like, you wouldn't be getting presents on any of those nights.
I'm not calling her dumb. I'm just.
No, I wasn't saying that. I'm causing trouble.
To be fair, I've actually already had this conversation with her to say it is open year round and jelly donuts exist, because what they do is they have donuts are normally fried anyway.
Yeah.
But it's the jelly filled ones that are, I guess, special for it. Although I can't stand jelly filled donuts, chocolate glaze is fine.
I like chocolate glaze and maple dip. I think those are the best. Those are like
those are good. And then sometimes they make like fun flavor ones, like with things on top, like Oreo crumble or
it's not. Yeah, it's
donuts are donuts. And they're good
at that point.
So that's sort of the tradition, and there's also some gambling involved. Like when you hear about dreidels, I didn't bring a dreidel for example, but the 4-sided top,
spin the dreidel.
It has letters on each side that stand for something. I'm not going to go into that either because I'm a bad Jew. But you spin it and you gamble on what it lands on. So it's like kids play with it and they have like chocolate coins that they can use as their monetary values. It's like, I'm gonna here's 5 coins and I'm gonna bet on.
Do they lose the chocolate coins?
Yes, they do.
You take away chocolate coins for your son?
No, I don't gamble. Kids gamble against each other. It's their own fault for losing at gambling. I mean, I could use real money, and people do, I'm sure. I'm sure the Orthodox go crazy over this time.
Have your kids ever lost and cried?
My son loses and cries daily, so it doesn't matter if it's Hanukkah or...
It could be a Wednesday.
Or me taking away. It's like, no more Caillou.
Yeah. Well, let's be honest, at some point...
At some point, there will be no more Caillou.
And they'll be like, thank you. I can't do Caillou anymore.
I anxiously await that day.
that day you're like, you just got a gift.
This was a good day.
Yeah, you're like, I just got a good gift today.
Like the gift of forever.
Do you feel like at some point you would miss Caillou?
No, I really don't think I'll ever miss Caillou. I think that if I ever had a client who was a voice on the show, I'd love the show and would only miss it that way. But I would be honest with them and tell them I'd never watch it.
Yeah.
I'd say, I am very happy you have a regular job, and I'm glad that there are 3 to 5-year-olds throughout the world watching you.
That love you.
But I don't need to anymore.
So it's the holidays and all that, and I guess one of the questions I always try to ask people is there like a holiday gift or that you just meant something to you or that you hated?
Over the years?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know what, I will... there's always the ones you hate because, there's the years when you don't get any. I mean, and it's interesting because as
it'd always be bad if they're like you would rather get nothing than the gift that you got.
Sure,
that's a bad gift.
Well, in Hanukkah, for instance, like because my family's so large and the party that we do have, it got to the point where not everyone got gifts. So what we did is all the adults exchanged names, and only one person got a gift from one other person, and that would hopefully change every year.
So it's like Secret Santa, but secret
Hanukkah Harry.
Yeah, Hanukkah Harry.
But the kids, of course, would all get gifts. And, of course, once you pass 14, you're like, I got to participate now. Because they're too old for they don't want to be too old for it,
Yeah.
but at that point, it's a little, so they got to start participating at that point. So it's fun, but sometimes there's years when it's like the gift is like, but you can't do anything about it because the person who got it for you is not necessarily, like if it's your aunt or if it's like a distant cousin or, not distant because no one there is distant, but it's not your sister, it's not your mother.
That you see, like...
It's not the people you see all the time or talk to, and I'm a close family, so we do talk to them a lot. So when you get like a book and it's like, oh yeah, it's nice.
You're like,
it's great.
Know how to read.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, or do your wife and you exchange gifts kind of thing.
Yeah.
The kids are obviously going to score big.
That's where you kind of get jealous. Like, I mean,
of course, but the trick is to get your kids things that you like.
Yeah, you're like, you know what? I like this.
But I remember as a kid, I mean, like when my grandparents were still around, I used to get awesome gifts. And I have a cousin and I collected G.I. Joes together. And usually, because we were the same age, they would give us the same gift. So we would each get like the aircraft. Well, I bought the aircraft. We'd each get like the jet.
Yeah.
And we both got one. Or, we would get different figures, but they would match because we would like bring each other's toys over to each other's houses.
Yeah.
And we'd have these huge battles and it was awesome. So those were the good memories of Hanukkah gifts. Bad ones, I mean, there's no bad ones. It's just the shitty gift ones.
Now that I was joking with you, I want to legitimately give someone an elastic and go like, I could have given you nothing when they get mad. I could just say that. Like, you could have gotten...
But who are you going to...
Give an elastic?
I need to know, who do you plan on testing this theory with?
That's a really good question. What if I gave you an elastic?
I think it would be funny as hell if you gave me an elastic, but
like, I'd give you like
but let's say you decided that you've been dating someone for a while and you're going to say, I'm going to test this theory with my girlfriend. Yeah, that's not going to go over well.
Unless you're kind of like, you know what, I'm not sure if this is working. Let's see if she's willing to laugh. If not, we'll stick the course. If not,
Yeah.
But yeah, no, just like maybe I'll get like a box like this big and put an elastics in it.
So you are a Christmas follower. You are the one who celebrates Christmas of the two of us. What about you? I mean, so I've gotten through... I mean, that's pretty much a wrap for Hanukkah. There's a lot more to it, but there's enough.
I'm not used to you asking me questions.
Yeah, I know. Well, this time I'm going to see who's calling and then ignore it. I'm not getting a call. Yeah. It's a game.
It's a season's greeting. I sent him a text.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. It's spelled it with an H, not a C.
Yeah, I know. You're not used to questions. So you're the one who celebrates Christmas, and so obviously for the majority of listeners would know the basis of Christmas being at least a celebration of the birth of Christ and
Santa Claus.
And Santa Claus.
I know.
It's a whole other story. You're wearing his colors.
Yeah, he's wearing my colors.
He's wearing your colors.
Yeah, and like our studio's red themed, right? So he's wearing our colors of the show.
Staring at a gray wall and saying that we're red themed.
But no, I grew up in Ottawa, so look, if you look on the other side, look at the table. There's red
the
right
table's
here.
red here. Yeah.
They're not.
That's funny.
I'm
happy.
The colorblind people are like, let's talk.
So you grew up in Ottawa.
Yeah, and so like we had a lot of snow. So just like when you think the holidays, like I like to say the holidays, just so no one's offended and like everyone's involved. Like when you use the.
But you don't have to because you celebrate Christmas.
Yeah, sure.
So in this case, we're discussing your growing up, celebrating Christmas.
I didn't know. I was trying to.
It is a holiday.
I was trying to be a solid public.
I'm sorry that we don't have a representative for Kwanzaa, but I mean, it doesn't mean that we won't next time.
I would love that.
It's not about offending. It's about your experience.
Yeah, no, but what I was trying to say is like, because not everyone, like when you grow up in school, you know what I mean? Like
I love Christmas time. I love this time of year.
Okay, I'll give you this. I really like Christmas music and all that, and it was like fun to do that. And then at a certain point, they actually took it away. And like at first, you're like, oh, like why would you do that? But then I understood why, because you're like, you don't want to disclude anybody.
Sure.
But yeah, no. So for me, Christmas or the holidays is just it usually meant 2 weeks break, and it was just like fun, and like everyone, like it was just meant snow.
Yeah.
I know that's weird to say, but it's like a fun time, where like people are just excited.
Yeah.
There was like, and also like I have a smaller family, so it's not like there's not like a big party.
Like you have no brothers and sisters, right?
I have a sister.
You have a sister, okay.
Twin sister. We're getting to know each other right now.
We've only known each other for
years. For days. Let's just say days.
Let's see, and assume that the 3 other episodes have been done in the last week.
Yeah, and we just had change of clothes. No, but it just the holidays, Christmas, just it's I think it's just because it's a break, but I mean, at the same time, you want to get negative. It's a very pricey time, and so like,
Sure.
there's the pros and cons, and like there's.
Well, it's also a time you can get very creative.
Yes, elastic.
I was thinking even construction paper and drawing materials or
You
sewing.
can make a winter castle with like white construction paper or something
You
like that
could.
for your kid.
You can make
for your house
a
to be
winter
like-
castle with snow.
You can mix them together.
And if you grow up in Ottawa, that is very possible.
No, and we did, and like
I know.
make igloos and all that.
I went to
like-
school and I lived there for 2 years. I remember.
See, I knew that.
Glad I'm home.
Yeah, no, but just like it meant like sliding. That one was really fun. Like those, do you ever sit on those like crazy carpet things?
Oh, absolutely.
Those
When you
were
go
the
down the
best.
hills on those, they're the best.
Yeah, because and also I mean with the McDonald's trays, those were really good. I remember one.
You talking about borrowing them?
boring? I did return one.
You're very nice.
Yeah,
Were
I
you
mean-
forced to?
No.
I was
It's more
gonna-
like, but you don't go.
Thank you very much for lending this to me. I had a great day. It's still usable. I washed it.
But you don't do
There's
it
a bum
loud.
print.
You don't do it loudly though. You're like, I'm returning this. You're kind of like.
I found this outside. Where did this come from?
But one
I almost
year-
ran over it.
One year we're doing going down this hill, and like the other side's a little steeper and like smaller. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go down this way. I feel like there's a joke you can insert there, but we won't. But anyways, I remember going, I'm gonna go down here, and I sat on the McDonald's thing, and honestly, halfway through there was a bump, and I hit it, and I went flying. Like, and the thing is, like my butt or ass, whatever, if we're allowed to swear, like hit the ground, and it was like, oh my god, and I was like. It was in pain, but the first thing I went to was like, I hope someone saw that. So the second someone saw that, I went, yes, you know what I mean. So sliding is what the holidays.
I did that skiing once.
Yeah.
I fell down half a hill. So I was skiing the first part, and then my skis hit a rock, and I flipped forward, and they of course went flying, and I went flying, and as my poles were still stuck to my wrist, I'm rolling down the hill, and finally I got to the bottom. And I just stood up. And then the chairlift started cheering as they were passing by, and they all watched it happen.
Were you like, I'm going to take a few minutes? Or you're like, I got to get out on the chairlift again.
I'm good. I'm safe. No broken bones.
I went skiing.
Yay, skiing!
Yeah.
It was my first time.
I never went skiing. We couldn't afford like going skiing and all that. So like sliding it's a good alternative.
Oh, sliding's the best. And if you grow up in a neighborhood that's got amazing hills, like even if it's just a school hill or
Absolutely.
like a valley, like most of them have like just a 10, 20 footer. There's great places in this city too that have amazing hills, and I'm actually really looking forward to, because we got my son a toboggan this year,
Yeah.
like a really cool sort of thing that it would fit him, because he's only 4,
Yeah.
but he can fit in it. And my daughter's still too young, but maybe give her a couple of tries. She's more adventurous than he is anyway. So at 2,
You're like, but you strap her in extra tight. 'Cause
Yeah.
you're like, please don't.
she'll laugh her way down that hill anyway.
But kids are like, creative enough that like even 20, like no matter how big it is, it's just like it can be so much fun, and it's a great way to spend like 2-3 hours.
Oh, absolutely.
And also like, especially if the kids are younger, it's a good way to kill their energy, just because they have to run back up and forth. And
Tell me about it.
Then you have that night, you're like, hey, we can.
Although the worst is when you don't want them to nap,
Yeah.
because then
On
they
the
do.
sled?
No. Well, but they have those afternoon naps that you're not looking forward to, because all it means is that when it's time for bed, they're not ready for it. Oh,
I love a good nap, but that's, as a parent, I would probably hate it.
naps only work for people who appreciate sleeping.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Naps belong to the people who appreciate it. The ones who don't, it's not good. It's not good at all. Christmas.
And I haven't made a snowman in years, and every year I'm like, when I go back home, I'm like, I'm gonna make a snowman this year. And every year, because it's in Ottawa, I go like, it's too cold to even think.
Don't go outside. That's
It's
crazy
too cold to
talk.
think. So you're like, I'm gonna chill here with my dog, which is actually brings me to a point of we were kind of asking favorite gifts, and
Yeah.
originally as a kid growing up, my mom you would ask for stuff, but like one time she got me like something that was like such a cool. It was like it's probably about like this high or whatever, but those little basketball things, not the one that goes into the wall, but it's like
Yeah, the standalone. It's got a base.
Yeah.
It's got a pole. You maybe put water to hold it down, or sand.
You can put water.
Yeah, in the bottom, just to like give it some weight, right?
And it was just like very like colorful. It was like green and like neon and all that, but it was just like I didn't ask for it, but it was like I remember loving that thing so much. It was just like, it was cool because she said, like...
And you were young enough that even if it was only this high, it actually was effective.
I mean, I'm not the tallest guy anyways.
No, but you're taller than it now.
Yeah, I was like, think of like, yeah. But no, I remember seeing it, like, walking down the stairs and, like, you're not sure what to see. And you usually look at the ground because the gift's on the ground, and then you see this thing with, like, a neon hoop, and you're like, it just was really cool and all that.
Yeah.
And, like, so I was like, that for some reason was always my favorite gift. And then a couple of years ago, my sister and I, we got my mom, like, a dog to replace me moving away. And honestly, that's, like, the best gift ever, man.
Was the dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and it wasn't our gift. It was our gift to her. So you're like, and then we got gifts on top of that year. We're like,
nice.
Steal.
Was it that sweater?
Actually, the first day I met him, I wore this. So then there's a picture.
So there's still some of your dog on you.
It's a powerful sweater.
Yeah, it's attracted a lot of little hairs and.
If he wasn't in there, yeah. But no, Hooch is like, I remember the first day I had him, like, he had a little bow and he kind of has a girl face. Somewhat. Everyone's
he
like,
has a girl face.
Well, okay, let me just.
Is he a pretty dog? Is what you're saying?
Shih Tzu, you know, like they're kind of like, if you see them really quickly, you might like.
They're little pretty dogs. I understand what Shih Tzu is.
I think he's a stud, man. But no, that's right. But yeah, when I was held in, everyone's like, and like, even though I've never met him yet, I was taking offense to this. They're like, she's so cute. I go, he's very cute. Yes, he is. You know, but just like, it was such a cool thing to have this little guy.
They learn eventually.
Yeah. Well, some people still think he's a girl.
It depends on how they get humped.
Yeah, they took away his stuff. No, but yeah, no, it was like, that's a gift. You think you think there's ever a time your kids will be like, I want a pet?
And I will blindly say, not blindly, but I will just say to their faces, you have one. It's that fish in that tank. And that's the only pet you'll ever have while you live in my house.
If you don't like that, here's Pogs.
Here's Pogs. Go play with your Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Here's your Megazord.
I feel like there must be a good substitute for getting a pet.
There's
it's called Here's Your Brother and Sister. Go.
We gave you a sister.
And a toboggan.
But she wants a pet. Yeah. You gave her a brother.
Yeah. Or
you've got each other.
Yeah. Bond over there.
Or you can have your beta fish, which are like, $4.99 a piece. And one day when he watches these back when he's older and says, what do you mean we never had more than one? We're on blue number 4, but he just still calls him blue. I just keep on buying a blue beta fish.
Yeah.
But every time he dies, I just replace him and he's still blue.
Does he know it's the same fish, though?
Yeah, he thinks it's the same fish. So one day...
What's his fish name of all 4 of them?
He's currently blue 4.
Blue 4? But is each one, he's like blue 3 or like... And not
no, he doesn't know the numbers. My wife and I designate the numbers. So we're on red 1 and blue 4. Red's actually lasted quite a while. I'm surprised. The blues, the blue first one lasted like almost 2 years.
That's pretty good for a fish.
And then the last 3 have come within this year. So they all went boom, boom, and beta fish are supposed to last a while. So
what about
whether it's negligence and not cleaning the tank or feeding or
fish are very complicated,
But thankfully, very cheap.
Very cheap.
Yes.
Or else you wouldn't be buying.
I wouldn't be buying them.
4 or 5 of them.
I haven't bought food in 2 years.
I thought for yourself.
It's the same container. And it's still full.
Yeah.
Because you only feed them like 4 or 5 pellets a day, and that's the first thing in the morning, and that's it, and they're done. It's like the pellets are like little tiny pellets.
Do you think you'll ever
expand to like a bigger thing?
To like a hamster or something like that, or
I really don't think so.
Because
have you ever smelled a hamster cage?
Yeah, they don't.
I don't want that in my house.
They're little like ratty hands.
Yeah. It's bad enough when you have mice.
Yeah, and
you never invited them in the first place. So.
In your rat trap?
Oh, that's the rat zapper.
You're like, hey kids, we got pets.
We have pets. They're dead, but they're great. Actually, you know what?
Free food if times get tough too.
The rat zapper's still at my place downtown, but I had to get a live trap because the place I was getting it from was out of rat zappers, so I had a live trap. Caught 7 within a week. Awesome. Just the best.
It's a good ratio. I mean, it's sad for the rat.
Oh, 1 a day? It's a good ratio. Yeah, sure. The fact that there's that. The thing is, when you find one, it's like, oh, you've got mice. I said, he says, oh, I have a mouse. I said, no. The moment you have a mouse, you have mice.
Yeah.
Christmas spirit. I let them live.
Ho, ho, ho.
I was actually really good with them. I mean, really, you should, for your own sake, and this is not for laboratory testing, you need to remove them from this world.
Fast.
Because there's already millions of them, and the 7 are not going to be missed. That being said,
Except their family.
well, no, because you catch them.
Yeah. It was a family.
But I was very good this year, and I let them loose in my son's school's field. And so I would walk
gave
over.
them a chance. You gave them a fighting chance.
I gave them a fighting chance. I would walk out at night and release them into the field, and either let owls take care of them or.
One of them's looking and going one day, like looking at you, going one day, revenge is coming.
I know where you live. Do you now? I spun you 3 times.
Yeah. And if you remember them somehow, you can be like, "This is rat number 2.
This is rat 2. Well, no, we never had rats. Thank God.
7, Dick.
Anyhow.
Do you have is there a holiday song? I mean, I don't really know if there's a lot of Hanukkah music.
Well, there's some.
Or even a Christmas song. Is there a Christmas song that you like?
There's none in particular. I just like the season. My favorite time of this year is, especially in the U.S., right after Thanksgiving. I mean, our Thanksgiving ends in October, and then we're stuck with Christmas for 2 months leading up to Christmas.
Yeah.
Whereas the American Thanksgiving, which only ended 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, you give you that stretch of time before Christmas. It's not as long. It's stronger. It's faster, and the places that dress up, like I was in Los Angeles and in the Grove, is dressed up so beautifully. And they have the giant, Santa's village. They have a Santa's workshop, and there's lights everywhere. And they have like a Santa in his sleigh with a reindeer strung across the top between two. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And the visuals everywhere, and everyone's lit up, and the music is coming out of the stores. And of course, it really does help that it's not cold.
Yeah.
It's cold. It's cold for Californians, but not for Canadians.
I would love that, like 1 year.
It's the best. It's like they're walking around, they've got toques on and coats, and I'm walking around in sleeves and maybe a short sleeve shirt, but there's no coat.
Yeah,
it's
like
not
something
cold
like
at all.
What we're wearing right now would be great.
What we're wearing right now would make us warm.
Yeah, but we'd be festive.
We would be festive, and they would probably think we were working there.
Is it true? Is the stat true? I hear that Christmas, or is it Valentine's Day? I think it's Christmas or like the holiday season is the most depressing time of the year, like for people.
Christmas is I think happens before. Well, I mean, obviously, time wise, it happens after in a year, but I think Christmas is the one that more people are sad about than Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
I mean, Valentine's Day is sad because they push the love thing, and anyone who's single and so on. But that's just about relationships with one other person. Like Valentine's is about being with your Valentine, whereas Christmas is about being with family. And I find that that's probably more likely to be the one that is sadder.
Yeah.
When people are, I mean, it's one thing to have no one in your life, but you can have someone in your life and still not have your family.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing. I mean, that affects people badly because it's soul wrenching for some, and some people are happy not being with their family. Maybe their family was assholes. Season's greetings
from us right now. It's just like I don't know why I brought that up. It just always.
No, but I understand. I understand the theory behind it. I'm very lucky that I have a very close family that we actually like hanging out. And we hang out. Like, we don't just, like, get together at family events. We see each other.
Do you like board games and stuff like that?
No.
Just spinning.
Well, go for dinner and hang out and talk and relate.
Another activity you might do, which is favorite holiday movies.
Well,
you might be watching movies. So what's your favorite holiday movies or movies?
Well, of this particular season, there's some pretty great holiday movies. There's some amazing Christmas movies. I mean, one would be Groundhog's Day.
Isn't that more of a Thanksgiving or like a Groundhog's Day would be the holiday?
No. It's sort of a Christmas time, even though it's the whole idea.
Well,
it's snowing time. It's winter time, and it is Groundhog's Day. It's not Christmas time.
Kind of maybe like in a planes, trains, automobile way.
Yeah. It's like it's winter.
Yeah.
It's winter, so you get the feel of the holidays.
But also humanity. It's
humanity. It's learning about yourself. It's the giving spirit. It's the becoming. And I know it's not a Christmas movie, but it's just one of those great seasonal movies that you can watch over and over and over again while he lives his life over and over and over again.
Do you often will you watch that? Is that a yearly movie or close to
if it's on, I'll watch it. It's just one of those movies that the moment you see it, it's like I'll watch that. I have that in Notting Hill.
No,
Notting Hill's not a holiday movie either.
I like
but
Notting
that's
Hill,
the movie that I would watch if it's on.
Okay, yeah. I like.
Okay, so holiday movies, Scrooged, of course. I mean, I'm sticking to a Bill Murray theme here.
Tweet us your favorite also, by the way.
Yeah, please tweet to TV Smithy and to the Lindsay Lewis your favorite holiday movies.
Are you guys saying like your favorite person of this, and like tweet that person because they would tweet?
No, you can tweet both of us.
Or they could just tweet me.
One or the other, doesn't matter. Tweet one of us. We'll share.
I'm the one with the red sweater. Sorry.
I had to rub it in. I'm the one dressed like the Sandman.
Actually, that is very Sandman.
It's my Sandman's from Spider-Man outfit.
It is more of a Sandman shirt than Holly, right? Let's be honest.
Well, it's just the coloring. I don't have like the lines in my hair, or the goatee. I mean, I could be a villain. I could be a villain. I am. Oh, you know what? What makes me a villain? The goatee. I'm the anti-universe Ryan, as opposed to, like in Star Trek, whenever they had the alternate universe, they had the goatees. That's what made them evil.
Trek. It's the best. No, recently a lot of people like feel.
Wow, I just dated myself.
No, but anyways, back to holiday movies.
Holiday movies. What about you? What's your favorite holiday movie? What's your favorite Christmas movie?
All right.
Movie?
Honestly, this list is gonna go a while, so I'll try to keep it quick. I'm just gonna do it in the order because I watch a bunch on like the holidays, but then I'll narrow to like the ones I really like.
Okay.
Santa Claus. I watched the Tim Allen one.
Yeah, the Santa
decent,
Claus.
Mr. Bean's Christmas episode. I think that's classic.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Where like, have you seen it? Where he gets she thinks she's getting a ring, and then it's actually just like the hook for the thing, and then she's like, because she's pointing at the ring, but he sees the picture in the hook, so he gets that, and she's so sad. I love that episode. The Jonathan Taylor Thomas classic, I'll Be Home for Christmas.
Oh, very nice.
Jessica Biel's in that.
Is this just like a continuing theme with Tim Allen related actors? Because he was on Home Improvement.
I think
right?
that's on Disney, not me. That's just by chance I happen to like it.
I see.
But they had an NSYNC song at the end of it.
Oh, very nice.
It's a decent movie, which leads to a more than decent movie, the classic Jingle All the Way.
Schwarzenegger, right?
Yeah, have you seen that one with Sinbad in him?
Yes, I have. That's about the when they're all fighting.
Turbo Time.
Yeah, they're waiting for the toy robot, and they're all getting fights in the well. Not it's usually the theme for any Christmas movie, but.
I love movies that like basically there's terrible things happening, but as long as there's a message at the end of it, it's okay. Like Surviving Christmas, terrible things happen, message at the end. But yeah, just like he almost beats up a kid. Like I mean, there's a misunderstanding, but
wasn't there a Four Christmases? Is that what it was called?
Yeah,
Ben Affleck. Is that what it was?
The Four Christmases is Vince Vaughn and
Vince Vaughn,
which I hear they didn't like working together on it. And Surviving Christmas is the Ben Affleck.
Right.
That went from like in less than
with James Gandolfini.
Yeah, within 2 months it went from theaters in October to DVD on December because it just didn't do good at all. That movie, I own it. But yeah, no, Jingle.
Dollar bin.
It's
$5.
It's $5 or less for sure. But yeah, no, Jingle All the Way. Just like they even have like he feeds a reindeer, like gives booze. He tries to steal another kid's present, like under the Christmas tree. There's a bomb explosion in it. You're like, I still love it. It's great, but it's like you're like, who? I don't know who wrote it. They troubled people, I'd say.
Fair enough.
So these are good ones, and the last one before I get to the real showstoppers is Reindeer Games. Ben Affleck. Mm-hmm. Have you seen that movie?
I remember it. I never saw it.
Underrated gem.
Underrated gem. That was an action thriller, right?
Yeah. Christmas and Ben Affleck. He's done two, and they're both awesomely underrated.
Here's mine. Die Hard.
I was gonna get there, so we'll just talk about it.
Let's start with Die Hard. Die Hard's probably one of the greatest, one of the best action films of all time, and a great Christmas movie.
Yeah, which also has one of my favorite Christmas songs in it. It starts with
Run DMC, right?
Yeah, Christmas in Hollis.
Yep,
great song.
Terrific.
Like I heard that I heard that song like as a kid, maybe like 6 or 7, and so I didn't see Die Hard until years later. So I went, they use that song, and that's why I was like, we're in for a good time.
Oh, nice. But yeah, I when I was in junior high, my friends and I made a video to Christmas
in Hollis.
Yes. I mean, this is back when we, you got your first VHS camera, and we would do cut takes, right? So we're like, do the takes, and then we'd use VCR to VCR to edit the videos.
Absolutely.
It might have been the worst, but that's what we did, and we made them. We did it to perfection. We got good at it, so to speak. And this is, a long time ago.
It was a while back.
20 plus years.
For the few young fans we have, they're like, "What's a VCR?"
What's a VCR?
A VCR?
A VCR tapes this big. Probably have some displayed, but
Die Hard.
it's a terrific. I mean, it's just it is.
Who have you met that doesn't like Die Hard that you trust?
That you trust? Well, you don't trust them.
Exactly, because you're like, what? You have no feelings. The emotion of awesome isn't in you, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, first off, the first time you watch it, you're rooting for John McClane, but anytime you appreciate Hans Gruber.
Absolutely, especially since Alan Rickman is one of the greatest actors.
Oh, perhaps
the sentence ends. He's just one of the greatest actors.
Yeah. Like, he might be the greatest villain of all time, in my opinion, with that.
But he has great roles anywhere. Like, I mean, Love Actually, he's got a great role.
That's heartbreaking almost. Yeah. Actually, that's a good Christmas one, too. It's it's just a good movie in general, but he's...
I actually forgot it was a Christmas movie, and yet I referred to it. Yeah, it's a great movie.
It's just by chance.
Alan Rickman,
Serendipity.
You're a man.
Serendipity
a good one.
I was using the word, but also it's set at Christmas.
Yeah.
So, Alan Rickman as Hans Gruber.
It's great.
I don't even know how to sum it up. He's got a great beard, and he's a great villain.
Go get that movie. If you've never seen Die Hard, you need to watch that movie. And if you've seen Die Hard and disagree that it's one of the greatest movies ever,
then it's the second greatest movie, obviously, is what you're trying to say.
Exactly, because obviously there's just one more that was better. Like maybe it was The Cincinnati Kid. Not a Christmas movie.
But even like Ellis in it, this is really cheesy. We're gonna be talking about Die Hard, but yeah, Ellis is great, and just how he's coked out and all.
Yeah, all of the characters.
Booby. And he's in control, thinking he's fine, and then you're like, what happens with him? You're like, oh, Ellis, and
you feel for him, even though you know he's the douchebag trying to sleep with your wife.
Yeah, but even like John McClane or like Bruce Willis who plays him, it's just like he's like, don't keep feeding these lies. Something bad's gonna happen. And anyone who hasn't seen it yet but does watch Family Matters, because when I watched
Family Matters, right.
Carl Winslow's in it, and the thing is, I saw Family Matters again before I saw
Die Hard, and then you're like, oh my god, he's in it.
Carl Winslow, but just like he's Al Powell, I think is his name.
Yep,
he's great in it.
Yeah, he's terrific. I mean, here's the cop who's been sort of
Twinkie-loving
cop, but the whole reason is that he was not really, he's in uniform, but he's a desk cop.
Yeah.
Because of an incident, so he's, just basically on his way home.
I hate spoiling, but he also shot a kid, which is a great, backstory for anything.
Sure.
Like, if we want to add character story to our show, I would say you shot a kid.
I never shot a kid. I did burn a lot of things, though.
Yeah. And the action, and just
No, it's just... The only way to describe it is action-packed. It does not stop. Like, the moment the action begins, it never ends. Right to the end. And it's spectacular.
It's one of those, I could watch it, like, say we watch it tonight, I could watch it...
Like, William Atherton as the reporter is spectacular in it.
Oh, yeah, And Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah.
You got what's the
two FBI guys, but...
Who's the guy who's like, he kisses ass to the FBI? Not Lieutenant, what is it?
We're going to blank here, so we apologize. It's been a while since I've watched my last timing of Die Hard, but...
I'm going to watch it soon, so...
I'm going to watch it tonight!
That almost sounded like Bane from Batman.
I'm going to watch it tonight.
Ra's al Ghul's destiny!
I am following in his footsteps!
They didn't know who I was until I put on the mask. I just half-assed that.
Just some... Yeah. Ignore these rantings of us.
But he's the guy from Breakfast Club.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he was great in it. Just there's great action, just great sequences. Do you appreciate Die Hard 2 or hate it or like it? What are your thoughts on Die Hard 2?
Die Hard 2 is also a great movie.
Yeah, Christmas as well.
Also, yeah. Yes, it takes place in an airport, but again, from the moment the action begins, it doesn't stop.
Yeah,
and it's a decent story. I mean, that's all there is to it. The Die Hard movies,
action, betrayal.
It's just a great run, and you move from action in a tower in Los Angeles to an airport in Washington or in New York.
It's in Washington, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. Yeah,
I think they're at Dulles.
Yeah, that's where they're at. But just like Die Hard, I think it even did great box office wise, right?
Of course.
And it's a really awesome movie. It's like,
and it's not to say that Bruce Willis was already a star because of Moonlighting, and this just really, just launched him as. This is what launched him as the superstar.
Yeah, action superstar. But just like, it's a good follow up to because it's a great movie in this super huge building, and you're like, so what do you do? And it was a good William Sadler.
Yeah, Sadler. Yeah,
he's a little weird in it
as the villain.
Yeah.
But he's such a terrific actor that you sort of forgive a lot of the story faults or whatever. Mm-hmm. And there's not a lot. There's enough to say, that was okay. But and some of the action now, if you looked at it now, could be cheesy, like when he's like in the chair and it blows up and he's flying into the air.
His introduction in the movie is legitimately him doing some sort of like Tai Chi or like yoga naked in a hotel room.
Right.
And like, so you're like, that's your introduction? It's hard to take.
How else would you like to be introduced?
Yeah, he's probably like, I would like this.
I would have rather been doing a handstand naked.
Yeah, they'd be like, how do we frame this? So we show that he's there, but we don't show the stuff. It's a good follow up, and there's like a little like kind of a lame twist, but good enough that I like.
And the third one.
I like the third one. It's just like
it's not the third one's not Christmas.
Exactly, and that's already takes points off of it.
Right. I mean, it's
the new
great
series I get the new trilogy, but like that one should have been Christmas.
Oh, based on I haven't now. I can say personally, and chose not to see the fourth one. I have not seen that one, or
it's okay. It's just,
and I probably won't rush out to see the next one, 5, coming soon to a theater near you. I mean, Samuel L. Jackson's terrific, and they just sort of it was a forced sequel. That's how the third one felt, and it's sort of how the fourth one felt. And
the fourth one.
When it was started to get advertised, it's like, you could have just call it, just give him another action movie and call it something else. It doesn't have to be Die Hard. Mm-hmm. It's like that's. I think there was sort of a similar rumor to what High School Musical was supposed to be. Grease 3.
Oh, okay.
That's what I heard, and then it didn't work. And not that it didn't work; it's that they decided to disassociate from the Grease franchise and call it High School Musical. It's a rumor I heard. Totally unrelated to the Christmas thing. But it was just about the connections between doing a movie and calling it something else, because there's no need to, like, what's another example of that is the remake of Ocean's 11.
Yeah, okay.
And then they made a sequel called Ocean's 12, and then they made Ocean's 13.
Yeah.
They didn't need to make an Ocean's 12 or an Ocean's 13. I mean, Ocean's 11 is a remake of a Sinatra film back from the 60s, and it's a great movie. I mean, the first one is fun and cheesy and sing-song, and then the second one, the remake, is a spectacular adventure with a terrific cast with Brad Pitt and George Clooney. And then suddenly they make another movie called Ocean's 12, forcing this gang to get back together for another job. Why don't you just do the same thing and not call it Ocean's 12?
Yeah.
Just do an ensemble movie with the same cast.
Yeah.
And call it Frankie Furter Went to Town. Like, whatever.
From a marketing standpoint, and just like it did.
It's all about sequels now. Yeah. It's about getting your trilogies. It's like, everyone wants to have a trilogy under their belt. It's like it's
to buy 3 DVDs instead of one.
Yeah, and I get it. But the thing is, it's no longer about the creativity behind it. It's now just about
we're selling the characters or this
having a trilogy. Like, we can have sequels and sequels and sequels. Why can't you just make movies together?
I do have a sequel because, to be honest, we still got to keep on to Christmas and all that. Speaking of sequels and all that, one of the last 3 I'm going to talk about is Christmas Vacation.
Yes, a sequel to National Lampoon's Vacation, Chevy Chase, Beverly D'Angelo.
Others who played...
the children were played by different actors.
Every movie, yes.
Was it every movie? I thought it was the same actors in 2 of them, and then the third one, it was different kids.
They switched.
I think the first 2 are the same kids.
I think they switched them, actually.
Really?
I'm almost...
You think Russ... Or is it just the daughter's the same and Russ is different? I thought the kids were only different in the third movie.
Yeah.
Because they were just younger. Mm. But Chase and D'Angelo were the same.
I can't confirm.
Which they're currently also doing commercials right now. I think they're... Old Navy commercials.
But as like the Griswolds?
As the Griswolds.
That's kind of fun.
It's pretty awesome.
But Chevy Chase has got a great rant in it.
Yeah.
Just when he loses it, just like he's trying to make the perfect Christmas holidays for like bringing his family and like trying to bring them all together, and he just loses it, and it's great, and just like there's a really funny line. One of the police officers, when like breaking down, he comes in, he's like, and the boss just doesn't give him this raise and all that, or the bonus. He goes, "If I will beat you with a rubber hose," or something like that. It's like, I love that line. I don't know why it's such a cheesy line, but you're like, who says that? But no, it's just like there's a good message to it. It's funny.
Yeah.
I love the sequence of him like polishing up that's just cool to see as a kid, because you're like, that's just exciting.
Right.
You know? Do you like Christmas Vacation?
I do. I'm not as much as you.
Yeah.
But I appreciated it. Beyond the first Vacation, I never appreciated European Vacation or Christmas Vacation nearly as much.
European.
It just the first one was so spectacular as a story and the idea, and National Lampoon, because of the you know, like just sort of the fun factor, the nudity factor, the swearing factor, the youth factor, the teen factor. They wanted to get all of those elements into telling their stories. You still got that appeal with the second one, and you sort of lost it with the Christmas one. And sort of it became a Christmas movie. There's elements of it, but not nearly as much.
The thing is, I like it the best out of the series. It does feel different than all of them,
right?
Because it is more a Christmas movie, and so I see more. I understand why it's maybe the most known or most liked,
sure,
because of the holiday theme. But I also get from what you're saying,
right?
But it just like
that comes from a fan of being a fan of the National Lampoon movies, like Up the Creek or Animal House, like any of those movies that have elements of just, you know, like going crazy and partying and sort of what was behind National Lampoon storytelling, either from, you know, like So that was why it was not nearly as much my favorite as the original.
Yeah. There's other ones because I don't want to talk about it too much. It's a Wonderful Life. That's like a
Van Wilder, by the way, falls under the good category of
the first one.
Of how
that was like a surprisingly good one for them.
Right.
Like, and like Ryan Reynolds is like he's good with comedy. I think he's very like.
Yeah, you think he's good with comedy?
He's charismatic as a character. He's charismatic.
He's very funny.
So It's a Wonderful Life. That's a solid Christmas one. I'll watch it once in a while.
But that's the go-to.
Yeah, it's no Fruit Claus or like Four Christmases, as you're saying.
Yeah, but you know that is going to be on at this time of year, almost available 24 hours
NBC,
on one channel or another.
NBC, it's like a night or two before Christmas, and like, you know.
Yep.
Scrooge is okay, the Bill Murray one.
Yeah, I will tell you that, strangely enough, not a Christmas movie, but my favorite Christmas movies. And this is how I used to spend Christmas Day, because what happened was when I was a kid, I used to grow up, I used to go to Florida every Christmas break.
Yeah.
And on Christmas Day, when nothing is open, USA Network used to play the Star Wars trilogy.
Really?
And so every year on Christmas Day, I would wake up and watch all three movies.
That's a pretty solid day.
I mean, you could be outside and whatever, but it's like nothing's open. Yeah. It's a family day. We know that we're, one, going to have Chinese food for dinner, and two, probably go see a movie that night.
Yeah.
That's Christmas Eve, when, you know, everyone's at home with their families. And then Christmas Day, Star Wars, 1, 2, or 4, 5, and 6.
It's 1, 2, and 3.
It's 1, 2. It's the Star Wars trilogy. The Star Wars trilogy, not.
Don't let Disney tell you anything else. That's right, Disney bought it if you haven't known yet.
I'm okay with Disney buying it. I mean, like,
good for them. They need more money, obviously.
Yeah, no, I agree.
They're pinching for money.
And I have shares, so I want them to make more money.
Do you really?
I do.
How do I get involved in this? I love Disney. So
how do you get involved in buying shares in Disney?
Yeah,
I think you find someone who can purchase shares for you, and you buy shares.
Well, maybe next time.
I got 2 shares as a bar mitzvah gift.
That's a great gift.
And they kept splitting, so they went from 2 shares to 8 shares.
Yeah.
And then the company's value went up again, and then they split again, and they went from 8 shares to 24 shares. So I have 24 shares in Disney.
That's awesome.
And I didn't even buy 2 of them. Like, I got 2 as a gift.
That's really cool.
That was a good gift, but not a Christmas gift.
Yeah, just a good gift.
Just a good gift.
You want to gift us? I'll take it. Before we run out of time, I definitely want to talk about.
Please.
I will watch this, like Die Hard, I will watch whenever.
Sure.
And here's another way I'll do that. Possibly the greatest Christmas movie of all time, Home Alone.
Home Alone is a good Christmas movie.
Oh, so good.
It's, it's in the same way that people react to Justin Bieber, the way they do to Macaulay Culkin, because he got this great launch with this character.
Yeah.
And he was a great kid actor.
Very
and then,
charismatic, yeah.
Yeah, very charismatic. He was a terrific performer, and it's got a great cast with Daniel Stern and
Catherine O'Hara.
I mean, like
Joe Pesci, Daniel
like
Stern.
everyone about
Heard.
It's this terrific family, and then the villains and Macaulay Culkin and his, and him alone, and of course, how ridiculous it is that you forget your child at home while you go away on vacation, and he has a few days to himself while dealing with burglars.
Yeah.
But what I was getting at with the Justin Bieber reference is where here's a kid who has launched into the stratosphere in today's world.
Yeah.
Obviously he started off as a YouTube sensation, I
Yeah.
think, and then he became huge. And now there's, of course, the Bieber lovers and haters. It doesn't matter where we fall; they both exist.
Absolutely.
And he knows he's hated.
There's a murder plot to castrate him that came out like a day or two ago.
And he knows that people hate on him, and he knows that people hate on him for no other reason than just for him being
Justin Bieber,
a young
kid
who's successful. And they're very jealous of his success, and so they hate on him. Whether you like his music or not, you don't have to hate the guy.
I like a couple of songs.
I'm not a fan of his songs, but I have nothing against him. I mean, maybe a little, respect level for that whole overall things with the prime minister.
They said it was during a show that he was doing. So
I don't know. I mean, it looked like it was an official visit, but looked like a doorknob, but
maybe it wasn't.
But again, I have nothing against him. I'm happy he's successful, and hope that he stays successful
and I hope he's a Home Alone fan.
And I hope he's a Home Alone. But that's what happened with Macaulay Culkin. He had this great ride with this amazing thing, and suddenly he started getting a lot of parts.
Yeah.
And then of course the hating came on, because here is a good kid, a good actor who hit very fast and very hard.
Yeah.
And had people hating on him for no other reason than he was successful, and it happens to everybody. But because you are an it kid at the time, that's what I remember and think of whenever I think of Home Alone. Is how sad it is that these performers have to go through this. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter that they ruin their lives later on their own time, get into drugs, get into this, drinking, get married at 16, make strange decisions because they feel they need to keep their name alive.
Yeah.
And then eventually you make some comebacks if you're good enough.
But like if you watch Home Alone now, I think you can, I hope anyone can appreciate his performance.
The movie is terrific, and that's why it's almost a sad memory to think of someone going through that, and that's what I think of when I think of the movie.
Yeah, I try to distance.
But it is a good movie, and it's a solid Christmas story.
I think there's John Williams, his score is great. There's comedic performances. There's heartfelt stuff. There's fun stuff for kids.
Yep.
There's a good mix for everybody. You know what I mean? I love the sequel, the one in Florida.
Right.
But I mean the other one's not so much. But it's just all around.
At that point, you're just stretching the story.
Oh, absolutely! Like watching it now, it was the first time ever.
It would be like making Annie 2.
Annie 2.
Yeah.
Annie 2. Lost in
no more Mr. Warbucks.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's just it's a fun movie. There's a message. It ends great, and it's just you're gonna laugh, and you just suspend disbelief for a bit, and it's a solid movie.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen Home Alone, I would say watch that and Die Hard together. That's a good combo.
I think it's been a fun episode.
A festive episode.
A festive episode. Happy holidays.
Have some hot chocolate if you want.
That's my favorite part of this year.
Chocolate.
Hot chocolate, skating. Do you go skating at all?
Yeah.
Yeah. My son's got skates, so we're starting to get to that level. Although I learned a trick, because the worst thing in the world is holding on to a 4-year-old while he's skating, because your back.
You got to do that.
So you get a long scarf, and you put it under their arms and just hold them up while they skate.
You don't actually do that.
Oh yeah.
Well played. I know. Yeah, skating's fun. It's a good time.
I mean, you can get them one of those bar things they hold on to, and they can skate on their own, but it doesn't really teach them the balance.
Did you ever do what are those safety skates?
With the double blades?
Yeah. Did you start with those?
No. We started with just a single blade, but like an adjustable skate, so that his foot could technically grow with it. But they're good skates.
I remember trying to do rollerblades on ice one time.
Rollerblades on ice?
It was a good time. It wasn't good at all. I dropped my iPod there too. Do they like doing hot cocoa or chocolate after skating?
He doesn't appreciate it yet.
He will.
He would, of course, he will. He'll eventually understand that all of the things that I tell him are good treats are actually good treats.
Yeah.
Whereas right now he listens to his mother and thinks that fruits and vegetables are good treats.
Great.
I am a terrible influence when it comes to healthy eating.
I'll just say this: anyone who doesn't like hot chocolate, fireworks, or Die Hard, not to be trusted.
Fireworks?
Yeah. Who do you not? You like fireworks, right?
Yeah, but there's people who like fire too much, let alone fireworks.
But I'm talking fireworks, or even sparklers. But if I met a person like they're like, oh, fireworks, I'd be like, we can't talk anymore, or like, we can't trust you. I talk as a community too, not just as one person. It's been a fun day.
I think so. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in the new year.
Bundle up with some love over this holiday season.
Next topic, New Year.
New Year. Oh, I see what he did. Tweet us if you want.
Tweet us. So remember, tweet us your favorite episode, your favorite Christmas movies.
Of our 4.
It could be episodes. Maybe you've got favorite Christmas episodes of TV shows.
Yeah.
Like you have.
Yeah.
Maybe there were great Friends episodes, or I'm just saying, there's examples out there.
Saved by the Bell.
Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Saved by the Bell.
They said the homeless guy in the mall. Great episode, heartwarming. Zach's not such a bad kid, is he?
They all have Christmas episodes.
Yeah, I make it like internet show, and
sometimes what they do is because the TV season goes from it ends in sort of the end of November to give it a break until the new year for the new episodes to start. They usually rush the Christmas episodes, where the Thanksgiving episode always takes place near Thanksgiving. But Christmas is like a week later instead of a month and a half.
And you're like, oh yeah, I didn't buy my gifts yet. Right. That's what goes in my head. But yeah, so have a happy ho holidays.
Happy holidays from Smithy TV, and I'm Ryan.
I'm Lindsay, and happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa,
we've just
holidays.
Butchered the goodbye,
Christmas.
I think.
I always do that.
I got it.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
In today's world, people are busy and impatient. We are on information overload. Every minute counts. People want to know what you can do for them. They won't spend time reading or searching, but they will watch a video. If it clearly explains who you are and what you do and tells them what they want to hear, they will reach out to you. You have seconds to get people's attention. You want a video that is engaging and makes the viewer feel as though it is speaking directly to their needs. Add to your sales team a short video and let it do the heavy selling for you. Or add to your social media or wherever your audience is spending their time. Videos can pay back your investment 10 times over. So now that you've heard our message, let's talk about yours. Let's bring your image to life.